Just no matter, but you must play games. It's your tonight, but you got fire. I'm tired, and I'm hurt. And I always said to you first. You see,
You're listening to the Morning Buzz.
to the morning buzz.
To the morning buzz.
The Morning Buzz on 90.3. 90.3
90.3
90.3 WMSC.
WMSC.
WMSC Upper Montclair, New Jersey.
You heard the folks. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, live from Montclair State. This is the Tuesday Morning Buzz. I'm your host, Jake Goetz, joined by co-host.
Good morning. My name is Aidan Ivers. Happy to be here, Jake.
Yeah, newscaster
Hi, I'm Lizbeth Godoy.
and sportscaster.
I am George Calasia.
Gosh, this cast, incredible, impeccable.
else
I'm so excited.
What else we got, Jake? What else we got?
What else we got?
Oh
my God.
On our cat.
You know, I just focus on like the room I'm in.
Wow, Jake.
It's okay, Jake.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a bad person. How could I ever forget the one, the only Tunes and Tuesday segment host?
Hi, it's me, Emo. It's okay, Jake.
Yeah, no, absolutely goated cast. We're gonna talk about lots of news and stuff. So before we get into the big thick news, can we get the newscast?
Sure. I'm Lizbeth, and this is WMSC News. In our top story and breaking news today, there has been an update regarding the Monterey Park mass shooting that took place in California on Saturday, January 21st. Investigators searched the home of Hu Can Tran, the gunman behind the shootings, and discovered a .308 caliber rifle, loose ammunition, and other items likely used to build firearm suppressors. No motive has been determined as of now, and there will be more on this story later. In national news, Richard Barnett, the man who is known for posing for a picture with his leg on Nancy Pelosi's desk on the day of the 2021 storm of the Capitol, has been convicted of 8 counts related to this event. He's set to face 47 years in prison following his sentencing due on May 3rd of this year. Barnett's lawyer, Joseph McBride, defends him, stating that his client knows he did wrong, but does not find legal action necessary for his actions. In local news, starting February 5th, the Holland Tunnel leaving New York City to New Jersey will be closed overnight, Sundays through Fridays. Closures are expected to stay in effect through 2025 to allow for construction and repair of damage caused by Superstorm Sandy. The tunnel will be closed 11 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. on Sundays through Thursdays and midnight through 9 a.m. on Fridays. For MSU students, the add drop period ends today. If you have any last-minute schedule changes, they must be done today. And now for some quick weather. It is currently 32 degrees and partly cloudy. Make sure to bundle up today because we have a high of 44 degrees and a low of 30 degrees with 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. Expect intervals of clouds and sunshine throughout the day. For WMSC News, I'm Lizbeth. Back to you, Jake.
Thank you so much, Lizbeth. Gosh, I remember some people at the station have very strong opinions about the Holland Tunnel. So it's funny to hear that there's construction going on over there. But we're going to move into sports. George, hit us up with Sportscast.
Sure thing, Jake. The road to the big game continues as the Philadelphia Eagles and San Francisco 49ers battle it out for an NFC title, and the Kansas City Chiefs and Cincinnati Bengals battle it out for an AFC title in a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Both games will take place on Sunday. For NBA tonight at 7:30. The New York Knicks take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in Madison Square Garden. The Knicks look to improve to 26-23 on the season. And in NBA news, the Los Angeles Lakers and Washington Wizards have finalized a trade that will send Wizards forward Rui Hachimura to the Lakers for shooting guard Kendrick Nunn and 3 second-round picks. Hachimura is averaging 13 points per game and 4.3 rebounds per game off the bench this season for the Wizards. For NHL, the New York Rangers defeated the Florida Panthers 6-2 in Madison Square Garden last night. The Rangers improved to 26-14-7 on the season. And tonight, the New Jersey Devils will host the Las Vegas Golden Knights at the Prudential Center, where the Devils look to improve to 30-12-4. This has been George Calasia with your WMSC Sportscast.
Thank you so much, George.
You're welcome, Jake.
And going right into news, we're going to start off with this story about California's mass shooting. 7 dead as California California mourns third mass killing in 8 days. 7 people were killed in a mass shooting on Monday afternoon in San Mateo County, California. This is the third mass shooting in the state in 8 days. The sheriff's office said in a statement, quote, "The suspect was taken into custody without incident and the weapon was located in his vehicle. There is no current outstanding threat to the community." Yeah, this is yeah, like it said, this is the third mass killing in 8 days. Very scary degree of just like the rate there. And this is something that we've kind of grown accustomed to like over time. Aidan, is there anything
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
you're right about that, Jake. And I think the interesting thing to think about is the state of California has pretty strict gun laws in place
Right.
already. Like they try to prevent these things from happening, which like it still happens, you know, which is really unfortunate. And I really agree like with you when you said it brings a lot of the same feelings every time we hear this stuff, the same feelings of like confusion, anger, which is normal to feel that way, right? But I think even though it's like not directly here, we should I think be grateful for the people who kind of tackled it right as it played out. You know? Like people.
No, of course, the first responders, the people who actually help in those situations, and like the citizens that help. I know, you know, it's unfortunate to say, but I'm not. I believe we're gonna move into the story next, but about
like,
the citizen that helped disarm the
it's
shooter. But that's not even the right shooting.
definitely takes a lot of bravery for that. If like you're not a person who's specially trained to take on those things every day, you know, and if you're a regular person,
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to move on to that next story about?
Sure. So, related to what Jake just mentioned, for our next story, according to APnews.com, dance hall shooter had gun arrest and extra ammo, the report says. In the worst mass shooting in Los Angeles County history, investigators said the gunman was previously arrested for illegally owning a firearm, had a rifle at home, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, and appeared to be manufacturing gun silencers. Los Angeles Sheriff Robert Luna said investigators had not yet established why 72-year-old Hu Kan Tran gunned down revelers during a Lunar New Year celebration at a Monterey Park dance hall. Sheriff's deputies from Los Angeles County searched Tran's home in a gated senior community. Los Angeles County Supervisor Jance Hahn said it was the worst mass shooting in the county's history. And, you know, I was actually paying a lot of attention to this story last night, and I saw a video of one of Hu Kan Tran's neighbors talking about him. And he said this person didn't really strike him as somebody like suspicious. I mean, sure, he might have been like he might have kept to himself a lot, but you know, his neighbor said he wasn't really threatened by seeing him like out and about.
Yeah, and it is interesting to note that the kind of MO on this shooter is very different from what we're typically grown accustomed to. We're used to seeing like very young, normally white men commit these sort of acts, and here this is like, you know, an older man, like, you know, an elderly, 72 years old.
And the quality check, this is one specifically that involves a regular person trying to, you know, disarm the gunman,
of course,
which takes a lot of like, you know, bravery in that situation.
And that must be really like flight or fight, like
and especially this is a case where it kind of adds a lot of more, I guess, brutality to the case, because this was the one where, you know, first responders tracked down Hu Kan Tran's van where he committed suicide in it. He shot himself in the head. And, you know, they made it so the van couldn't move at all. There were like security trucks in front of it, security truck behind it. And again, I think we should just give the credit to the people who, like, first responders who take care of this, who know how to handle it best, you know? So
yeah, absolutely. No, thank you, Aidan, for covering that so well. our producer also threw in the quote about the person who acted to disarm the gunman. This remarkable young man who, without any hesitation, though with moments of fear, took it upon himself to save countless lives. Who knows how many lives he saves? And that really is like kind of the takeaway
Yeah, and
of
then
like,
I also like going off of that, Jake. I think another takeaway is, I think people like regardless of political ideologies, political spectrums, nobody like wants this to happen daily. People who wake up and say, I really wish tragedy like this, what we're talking about, happens. They have like evil in their blood if they do that. And then a majority of Americans don't, regardless of what they believe. No,
Yeah.
So I think even like I said, even if it's not directly here, even if it's across the United States,
yeah,
thousands of miles away, we should still come together as a community and support people who need it most, because there are 18 families in total from the tragedies that have been going on this week, mourning the loss of a loved one. So that's certainly not easy. Certainly not easy.
no, it never is. Thank you so much, Aiden, for
Yeah,
helping
of
us out
course.
with that so much. And we are going to take a quick break before we jump into the rest of the hard news for this hour. We'll be right back. I would like to unmute. Okay. Governor Phil Murphy says New Jersey needs time to rework the energy master plan. It really says master plan.
Master plan.
Yeah. What it means for our green goals. It's been almost exactly 3 years to the day since Governor Phil Murphy revealed plans to push New Jersey toward greener pastures by updating its energy master plan. Many stakeholders, like residents and businesses, and anyone who signed up for the first hearing this week on the plan, were notified Sunday that those discussions have been postponed as the state works on a revision for 2024. In a statement, Murphy's office noted the state plan's 2024 plan will expand on how federal funds from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and the Inflation Reduction Act will bolster clean energy policies even further. Murphy said in a statement, quote, "Only by developing and diligently pursuing an updated climate mitigation strategy can we build upon our efforts to cultivate resilient and sustainable communities." How do we feel about that? Like, does that sound like a great master plan?
I mean,
Good plan, chief. Phil?
See, okay, I'm a big car girl. And I know
Really?
that a lot of people are very into electric cars for energy efficiency and
Ooh, okay. So
saving
when
the
you call
planet.
yourself car girl, do you mean like you're like into them? Like
Yeah, I do like cars a lot actually. I'm very into Formula One.
Okay. Do you like work on cars ever?
No, I
Okay.
just they look pretty and I love the mechanics of it.
Okay.
I'd never work on a car myself. I don't think
That is
I'm made
cool.
for that.
yeah.
But regardless,
That's
kind
really
of
cool.
jumping off of what his plan is, the one thing that I, in general, with not just New Jersey, just in general with like whole like environmentally friendly and energy efficiency, all this stuff, like to be green, I agree with most of it. I think the one thing that I've seen a lot of people getting like electric cars
Mhm.
lately, and I've seen them everywhere, honestly.
Yeah.
And I completely understand I guess the intent behind it. However, a lot of people may not know Porsche, car company currently, is according to CNBC, they have created a synthetic e-fuel that is made using water, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. And I feel like for me personally, just from my own perspective, it's like as a person who loves cars and
Yeah.
thinks that gasoline is very efficient when it comes to cars and
Mhm.
everything, I feel like that's the one thing that I wouldn't want to give up.
Mhm.
Is although gasoline is very bad for the environment, I think that there's other alternatives besides electric cars. But I think that's just me being nitpicky.
Mhm.
But other than that, I feel like energy efficiency is very much
I like
necessary.
I said like very like enthusiastically when you said you were
Yeah.
being nitpicky. I didn't mean to. But no, I agree. I'm not like I like I'm not the biggest fan of electric vehicles in general, just because I think that like the solution, like first of all, I don't, if you're trying to be environmentally friendly, like you're still producing so much
And
waste
yeah.
when you keep on producing
Mhm.
these cars. And especially like what do you think those batteries are made of? They're made of
Lithium.
lithium.
Exactly.
And those have to get mined.
Yeah.
Not exactly like super green process there.
And I remember last semester, Jake, we were speaking about a topic similar to this,
Mhm.
but I mentioned something about how it's like on my commute, like when I not like when I was first driving here and when I drive to and from my house, the
Yeah.
ratio of like gas powered cars to electric cars on say like the Jersey Turnpike is really, really minimal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trucks, buses that go by that might not be electric powered, right? And then
Mhm.
like I mean, I think I heard somewhere speaking about related to this to trying to make the environment better. People may think that electric cars are the way to go, but I don't think they're trying to outlaw gas powered stuff, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that's
they're moving towards like maybe to stop making them, but that's gonna be really difficult to start with
Yeah.
because a lot of people use them already. But like I don't think there's gonna be like a mandate saying gotta get rid of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, no, I hope not.
Your
No, I was
car
gonna
is
say
illegal now.
I don't think there's any possibility of us ever reaching 100% green, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
I don't think that's like
Yeah, especially not through
achievable.
electric vehicles. Like
Yeah.
for me, like the reason that like I have such like I really don't like electric vehicles, and it actually kind of gets under my skin when people like I guess like people don't see this, but like I feel like in media they're often depicted as like this grand solution to climate
Yeah,
change and like you know, the whole ecological
Mm-hmm.
situation that we're in, and they were just so not that.
I think
Like even if we did,
Yeah, I think in a
completely
pie
do
chart
it.
they're like 1% of the
Right?
circle.
no,
It's really like
even
not a
if
huge
people all
impact.
could afford them, like it
Yeah.
still wouldn't be good.
And I remember,
Um,
sorry, Jake. I remember, I
Yeah.
think hearing a report that people are trying to test out the possibility of using electric school buses for schools. And I
See,
remember
yeah.
hearing like when they're trying to make them, they just combusted into flames. Just
Oh, that's not good.
that's not good. It's not good.
No, yeah, but like for me, like a bus is such a better idea because like actually having a robust like bus system based
Yeah.
off electric power, like that sounds cool.
Well, that's
Yeah,
gonna take
like
a lot of work in engineering. but
electric trains.
Yeah,
whatever.
trains
See,
and
that's
stuff.
different. That's more like
I think
public
don't
transportation.
those exist already in like Japan, like bullet.
Yeah, no, the
I think,
technology
yeah.
for this all exists.
all
It's
exists.
just yeah, like the investment to like actually make it happen. And I think that like I don't know, I think it's a big like just part of like the American like values of like individualism and I guess like property rights and
Mm.
like I don't know, like you have your own thing, you have a car, you
Yeah.
deal with it yourself. But like I don't know, I think if we want more sustainable solutions to stuff, we have to think a bit more,
Mhm.
I guess, communally.
Yeah, and like you
100%.
also have to think about like how are these plans affecting our economy?
Yeah.
Building
Yeah.
towards this.
Yeah.
It may be helping an area, but it could be affecting another area,
Mhm.
like in a negative way.
Right.
Mhm.
But I feel like that's like something that has to be taken into account. And I think there has to be more of a balance between different categories than
Sure.
trying to focus on one thing more than the other.
And our producer, Lara Zaccardi, just wanted to add a little piece of information. She said, according to New Jersey's clean energy program, Governor Phil Murphy has set a goal of registering 330,000 electric vehicles in New Jersey by the year 2025.
Yeah, like see, for me, that is such a bad goal to set.
Exactly.
Like, right? Like the fact that the amount of electric vehicles being registered is like some sort of metric for success and for New Jersey's sustainability
Mhm.
is just like ridiculous because you're
And-
just producing more.
It's not only that, Jake, but especially around, like, compare maybe this part. No, actually not. We're like 10 miles from New York City, right? From here, or 12 miles. And especially around, as you get closer, especially around like the Staten Island area, near there's a lot of industrial portions of Staten Island that are
Yeah.
a lot dirtier and not nicer than other ones. Around those ones are factories right across the water in here, and they're not good because sometimes you're trying to cross, and again we talked about this last semester. Sometimes when they're at work in the factories, they let off not so good smells.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure that
And-
air probably isn't super great for your insides either.
Exactly, yeah. So
Or
it's
like
like,
the planet, but that's another
I mean,
thing. I guess that's what
like,
we're talking
Governor Phil
about,
Murphy
right?
can like talk about, like you said, Jake, 300,000 vehicles, but what about that? Like, gonna fix
Mhm.
that as well? Like, I feel like that's a big part of it.
Right.
If you're
There's
trying
a
to,
song by the band Dead Kennedys called Moon Over Marin
Mhm.
about like a guy who's like taking a run on a beach and like he has like
Oh,
his own
gosh.
little corner of a beach, but the beach is all like there's oil everywhere and it's
Ew.
just completely destroyed. But it's just like I got my stuff, I'm good. And I feel like that's kind of the mentality that's being taken on here.
no, it's like you gotta fix that too. Like, you gotta fix the factories, make them better at least, because they're not good.
Yeah. No. And like that, like especially when you get into the industrial like part of it and like how production happens
Mm-hmm.
in America, like I I don't know, because I feel like that's another like super big aspect of like the green and like
Yeah. I mean,
how where a lot of our emissions come from,
yeah,
right?
definitely.
Like that's where it all comes from, especially when you produce super huge like machines like electric
Yeah.
vehicles.
No, I mean, I would
Um,
definitely say our conditions have improved since the maybe like in the middle of 1700s or 1800s during
Yeah.
like the Industrial
Oh
Revolution.
yeah.
It's gotten a lot better than that, but
Yeah,
there's
well,
still a lot more work to do. And maybe that the answer to that is unclear right now, but I think for our part as young college students, I think the best way to do it, the best things to do are just to try to keep our environment as safe as possible, as healthy as possible, even if that means, the work that we do might become undone within the next few days after that.
yeah.
Just try to keep that hopefulness in mind that it could get better.
No, absolutely. And with that hopefulness, we can also move on to this next story about the calendar.
Sure.
Take it away with that.
So, according to Montclair Local, AAPI Montclair will joyfully mark the Lunar New Year this Saturday. AAPI Montclair's second annual Lunar New Year celebration takes place at the Montclair Art Museum on Saturday, January 28th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Lunar New Year is celebrated by various Asian cultures and commemorates the start of the new year on the lunar calendar. 2023 is known as the Year of the Rabbit, which is thought to be the luckiest animal in the Chinese zodiac and is expected to bring prosperity, abundance, and fertility. According to Winnie Wu, board member of AAPI and lead organizer of the event is known as the largest human migration on Earth annually, as people travel to East Asian countries to celebrate. Wu said, quote, "The main thing is family togetherness. We clean our houses, get a haircut, we clear our debts before the new year. So it's all about a fresh start."
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then, I mean, to connect it back to what we were talking about at the start of the show, to have those thoughts of prosperity, abundance, and fertility, even through hardships, I think is really that's
Yeah,
what
I
comes
was
down to.
thinking that, right?
Yeah, to keep that
About
in mind.
like it is a funny time.
Yeah.
Emo says, "Y'all, I'm a snake."
What?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
The Lunar New Year, the year of the snake. That's the year I was born. I don't
Oh,
know if
right.
you guys know.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was 2001.
I believe I'm Year of the Tiger.
Ooh.
It's the
What year
fear
am
of the
I?
fight.
What year am I? I gotta check. I
I'm
gotta
curious
look it up.
now.
Yeah, right. Like,
One's googling it up.
Yeah.
What year? What? Wait,
yeah, it's just the sound of everybody typing. as they look
yeah.
up.
I'm the only one not typing because Emo answered my question. I was born in 2001 too.
Hey.
Nice.
Year? Okay, all right.
Buddies.
I'm not making this up.
Snake
But
buddies.
2003 was the year of the goat. The year of the goat. It's the year of the goat.
That's incredible. And honestly true.
Yeah, no, but I think, it's definitely
2003. Wow.
That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my
dang.
goodness.
April 27th.
Oh, mine is the horse, 2002.
Oh, wow.
course.
So was Laura, our producer. She says,
Ooh.
"Yay."
Yeah, no, this is definitely good. To keep in mind some of our diverse culture and honor it in our communities.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is interesting, like the different sort of symbol systems associated with
Mhm.
like astrology,
Yeah.
for instance. Cause like I don't know, I think that's so cool, just the way that like, I don't know, stars are categorized and all
Sure.
that.
Sure.
Yeah. No, that's an awesome story. I think we're gonna jump in. If you guys don't have anything else to say, any other comments? Any other zodiacs to
Nay.
reveal?
Nay.
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 Well, in that case, I'm gonna play a song I really like for y'all. As we take a quick break, and we're gonna jump into some more stories when we get back. This is Claus by Charlie XCX.
Jake, all right. Charlie XCX.
but can't hear me. There you go, Facebook. Even though I don't know why I owe you any favors. But anyway, Montclair's Buzz Aldrin ties the knot in 93, excited as teenagers. Allegedly. Famed astronaut Buzz Aldrin is blasting off on another mission. He announced on his 93rd birthday marriage to his longtime love, Anna Kafar. That's a very like elegant name.
Yeah.
It's like Faur. So it's like far.
Mhm.
Aldrin, a Montclair native, dropped the news about his fourth marriage on Friday in a social media post. He wrote, quote, "On my 93rd birthday and the day I will also be honored by living legends of aviation, I am pleased to announce that my longtime love, Dr. Ankafar, and I have tied the knot. We were joined in holy matrimony and at small private ceremony in Los Angeles and are excited as eloping teenagers." End quote.
You know what? Good for him.
That's
Good for
yeah,
him.
that's pretty sick. It's never too late.
No.
I agree.
And I especially think we should take note of the way that he conducted his ceremony. Private,
Yeah.
not a big thing, except, let people know. Don't have to
Okay.
make it such an exaggerated
Yeah.
party like to go to and drive to and then drive home through at night.
Okay, what does he mean by long time love though? I'm
I guess
curious.
he's been with her for a
Yeah, they've
while.
been dating for a long time.
Or maybe he's just like had a crush for a while.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought
Right.
maybe like it was like a
You-
first love that he rediscovered and then they
I'm
got
sure.
married.
I'm not sure.
I might be living
Yeah.
in a fantasy.
No, I have to admit, I'm not super up to date on the Buzz Aldrin lore.
I didn't even know about this until like yesterday. So
yeah,
Yeah, but I mean,
just as lost.
as I think I said before that it's really never too late to just to have like that same relationship, that true love relationship.
Mhm.
It can
Yeah.
affect all of us at even at 93 years old.
Love is love, man.
Yeah.
If you found someone you want to spend the rest of your life with, you can do it. Get
Yeah.
married at 93.
That's right, George.
yeah, right.
know?
As long as it takes, if that's how long it takes you to find them, that's
And then you're happy.
That's just it.
fine.
That's
what
just it.
matters. Yeah.
it's worth it.
I think we have to think about the saying that we got to love ourselves first in order to get into this type of relationship, so I definitely think it's clear that this man has that for
I
himself.
feel like, yeah, if I went to the moon, like if I just went and did that,
Yeah.
that's his thing, right? He went to space.
Yeah.
Or he's
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
moon.
Right.
He went to
Second man to walk on the
Oh,
moon.
he went to Yale. That's pretty sick. Oh, second man to walk on the moon.
Second
Yeah,
man to
like,
walk
if I was a second man to walk on the moon,
Yeah,
I would
and
love
with
my
Yale.
pretty like.
And
You know the
and went to
guy,
Yale.
the guy that was like, oh, one small step for
Neil Armstrong.
whatever.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, that wasn't him.
Yeah, I
it was. He was the guy that was like, "Oh, okay, it's cool. We can step off now. Okay, I'm
It's like,
coming
alright,
after
we're-
you."
Yeah,
93 years old.
Yeah.
God bless that man.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, all the luck to their marriage. I hope it's I hope it's great.
Mhm.
And then a less fun story. Aidan, throw us into the
Sure. Well, not. Speaking about holy matrimony and great love, according to CNN.com, Rust to be completed and still star Alec Baldwin as he faces involuntary manslaughter charges in death of crew member, attorney says. Alec Baldwin, who is set to face involuntary manslaughter charges in the death of a crew member during a Rust film rehearsal, will continue starring in the lead role. Attorney for Rust Movie Productions, Melina Sapone, said there will be, quote, on safety supervisors and union crew members and will bar any use of working weapons or any ammunition. The remarks come a day after prosecutors announced plans to charge Baldwin in the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, in the same on-set shooting death of Helena Hutchins in October 2021 at a ranch in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
This is wild that they're continuing
Yeah.
with this movie.
That's crazy.
I guess like it makes sense because like you have this footage. I'm sure a lot of investments already gone
Yeah.
into it for it to be at the point that it was at when everything, went wrong. But
It's just,
I don't know.
It's just, and I feel it's like
Wait.
really awkward. I feel like it's really awkward on that set.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Has to be.
You know,
And I wonder what the rollout for this movie is gonna look like. How are you gonna advertise it? Of like,
Oh man,
everyone knows this
that's
movie
that's
now,
gonna be
and it's not exactly
oh.
for the best reasons. I know
Yeah.
some people say that any PR is good PR.
well, not maybe not in
but,
this
like,
situation.
I don't know if I don't think this is a place to apply that.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think it really is telling about the state of the production of our media right now.
mhm.
The way that these types of movies, TV shows are being made, the things that are being put in them, like put into their material, even if it includes a simulation of real life deadly weapons.
Yeah.
In this case, on accident, a real deadly weapon was utilized. And
Mhm.
it may not, like you said, Jake, it may not have been purposeful, but
Mhm.
it's definitely leaving a stain on the production of this, and maybe even production in the future. Like
Yeah, I
how
know.
how do we move forward
Mhm.
after such an, like, I want to, like, awkward is a way to describe it, yes, but it's like more than that too.
Yeah, no, it's a lot more, and especially just because, like, even general, like, without like the press that's around the movie, it's just the press that's around Baldwin. Like, do
Yeah.
we want to see like a blockbuster with him as the leading man after what's happened?
Ooh.
Not
Is that
sure.
really, like, how do you think that's going to work?
I cannot believe they're continuing with this movie. I really can't.
Right? It's like at some point, like, cut your losses.
Mm,
So I don't know what to say.
I mean, prop weapons are very, very dangerous. There's been
Yeah.
a lot of stories.
No,
And I think, movie sets, they should start to find alternates to find a way to
yeah.
stop with that. Because
Or-
I know Bruce Lee lost his son to
mhm.
a prop weapon as well. So
Yeah.
it's so
yeah,
dangerous.
it's like maybe our writers who are making these high-end media things can say, well, maybe we could make a story that doesn't revolve around those things.
Yeah.
No pun
exactly.
intended. No pun
Right.
Oh,
No.
Wow.
But it's like,
I just got that.
yeah, but it's like,
I'm a little late. I'm sorry.
In all seriousness, like, if I mean, it's good. In a positive sense, it's good that they know what to include now. People who will make sure that this doesn't happen again. Like people
Exactly.
who
Yeah.
are making sure there's no real weapons, and to make sure, like, no, that's like out of the question.
Mhm.
Of being
And real quick,
danger.
before we go into Tunes on Tuesday, I want to know about the story that they mentioned that they are going to have union crew members,
Mhm.
which is really huge because that was
Yeah.
the big talk about why there was so much negligence and so much
Mhm.
lack of foresight on set preceding that incident, because there was issues with unions
Mhm.
and they hired workers that were not as qualified
Yeah.
because they did not want to meet the demands of union workers. And
And going
that's what happens when producers kind of cut corners on that.
Yeah, and I mean, as a last thought on this, it kind of also puts in perspective, Doc Shadow being famous, because now pretty much Alec Baldwin's career is stained because of that accident.
Yeah,
It's
right.
it's never going away. It's never.
No,
And
stop.
it's unfortunate to
I
say.
want to know what's not stained. Tunes on Tuesday. Emo McCormack. What's going on?
well, I guess I'll talk about the not stained tunes on. Well, if you guys don't know, Tunes on Tuesday is our weekly new music show curated by the music team here at WMSC. I am very excited to announce this week our interview is with lead vocalist of the band All the Pretty Things, Logan Tabor, interviewed by WMSC alumni, DJ, and last year's Tuesday Buzz host, Kyle Pepitone.
Incredible guy.
Cool.
In this episode, Tabor talks about the foundation of the band and speaks on how previous projects from other band members bring new ideas to the table. He speaks about the songwriting process and how he keeps a notebook full of phrases he could recall when he works on lyrics, and talks about the difference between writing music on a cell phone versus writing it down on paper and how each technique has a different feel to it. Tabor also talks about the whole band and how they're involved in the creative process and how the other band members' techniques sometimes bash or blend together. Tabor talks about the distance between the band members and how it makes an impact on the group, with some members being in Texas and others in North Carolina, and how they could still be on the same page despite the distance. He actually shares that being apart sometimes helps in situations where he'll wake up to ideas and demos sent by other band members in the middle of the night. He speaks on the lyrics of All the Pretty Things' latest single, Teenage Lines, talking about the messages delivered in the song, and also talks about an anticipated next album, new work going on. Lots of songs are underway, and the band is also working on some tour dates towards the end of 2023. Music from All the Pretty Things and more on Tunes on Tuesday, which airs this semester at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. You could listen in for new music and good vibes. And if you missed last semester's episodes, no need to worry. All episodes of the show are available on our website, wmscradio.com. I would also like to give a very happy birthday announcement to our Tunes on Tuesday producer, aka our music director here at WMSC, Jared Tauber, who's probably asleep.
Happy birthday, Jared.
Happy
birthday.
Jared. There's no way that man is conscious at the moment.
No, especially because he was sending messages at like 1 a.m. But hi,
Yeah.
Jared. And his show Tauber Time will be on later today. And I don't know if anyone has any comments about any of that. I know some, at least Jake, I know you write music. I don't know if you have any preference when it comes to like one thing that I keep messing up Tauber and Tabor, but Logan Tabor talked about like writing music on like the digital platform versus like on paper. What do you prefer?
Oh, geez. There's something different to each one. One thing I like about being on digital, like writing on digital, is that it's very easy to like just write very stream of conscious. I don't know if it's just because my brain is like kind of geared towards that and like free writing and all and everything. I just like feel like you can very easily delete stuff, but sometimes it's kind of cool to be able to see when you're writing it all down on paper, like the kind of process that you've gone through. So if you wrote something and you want to cross it out, like just having that there all written down, there's something to both of it. But I don't know, it's hard. I feel like a part of me just likes the aesthetic of like writing it down, because then it's like, that's like you feel cool.
Yeah, no, I don't personally write music, but I found that sometimes in like stories that I've written, because I know I love like overall storytelling, but also screenwriting. And sometimes I love like finding my original ideas written on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And I like keep it like in a little like another book.
is
Like,
cool.
oh yeah, I wrote this and I wrote the date on it and stuff. I don't know if anyone else in there does music or kind of has an opinion on something like that. But I thought it was interesting that Tabor brought that up.
I do music. I used to write music. I don't do it that much anymore. But for me personally, it was a lot of me starting my ideas on paper, and then once I had a very concrete idea for a song, or it was in the last stages of being finalized, that's when I would move it to my iPad or my phone and kind of have the final copy there, make any edits that I have to make.
Yeah.
But I prefer paper for like the very beginning stages of writing anything, honestly. Whether that's music or schoolwork or whatever it is. I prefer paper until I'm reaching a stage where it's going to be like the very final copy or almost the final copy. And then that's when I kind of switch over to digital formats, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense a lot. I think I actually I didn't think about it, but I used to do something similar where like I'd focus on like having it in a notebook or on like just a blank piece, like just like a loose piece of paper. Just because like when you're writing on something like that, it doesn't matter. Like it can be anything. There's no stakes, right? But when you put it into like a big document like that, it feels very official. It feels very in stone.
I don't write music myself, but going off of what Emil said about writing stuff down, that's really important to journal, because it's like you write something down maybe right now, and then 5 years from now you look at that and it's like, if I didn't write that down, that idea probably wouldn't exist. That's like a thought. That's really, it's kind of philosophical stuff maybe. But it's like it's important to write it down, so that way you never have to like think, oh, what was that thing I thought about earlier, or like a couple years ago. Just write down on this paper, imaginary. Yeah.
Well, fun fact, I went to class yesterday. Just the paper fact
Mhm.
is that my
Paper fact,
professor
the
wanted
old
everyone to wanted everyone to write their name on a piece of paper, like the same one, and pass it around, and everyone kind of looked at each other, and I think it took a hot minute to figure out who had a piece of paper in the classroom because pretty much everyone just uses their computers nowadays, or I know a lot of
Yeah,
people have
yeah.
iPads, and so it's kind of cool to hear that, songwriters, storytellers, whichever you are, like, still using paper, because I think literally using paper is getting so lost. And I think the pandemic kind of did a lot of that.
Definitely.
Everyone's very used to a digital format. I know I used to take class notes on paper and I couldn't stand the digital format, but I kind of transitioned over to that.
Yeah.
You also can't, command F and do a quick search on a piece
Big
of paper.
fact. One actually big thing that I want to know about, like, the difference between digital and analog, and this might come off as a little like paranoid,
Mhm.
but I don't care. Is like, for me, whenever I'm writing down something digitally, I always expect it to be in some way like susceptible to leak, or like I always expect someone to see it, like no matter what. Just because, like, even if it's like a text file stored locally on my thing, or especially if it's like a Google Doc, it's like on the internet. And like, especially when you're writing lyrics, like, and you want to have that open space. I think like that dimension of it makes it very nice to write in in a journal, because
Yeah.
it's just a place that's like just for you.
That's really interesting, Jake.
Yeah. And so I will quickly get into a part of the segment so fun fact that I was actually on Tuesday Buzz with Jake and Aiden before last year, and then they dipped, and it's fine. But now you guys are back on Tuesday, and so you guys are used to the Tunes on Tuesday segment, but what you guys don't know is I've added this new part that listeners might be looking forward to, where I talk about the top 10 songs according to iHeartRadio's AAA chart, which stands for Adult Alternative Album. And so week to week, I'll give you guys the stats on that. And so I suppose next week, when things start moving around a little bit more, we'll talk about the movement on the chart. But I'm going to quickly talk about the top 10. So 10 this week new, since the last time I reported this back in December, is Evergreen by Omar Apollo from his 2022 album Ivory. Number 9, These Are the Days by Inhaler. Their album Cuts and Bruises will be here February 17th. Number 8, down 1 from the last time I spoke about the countdown, is Burning by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs from their album Burn It Down. Number 7, new this year on the countdown, This Is Why by Paramore. The album of the same name comes out February 10th, very soon. Can't wait for that one. Number 6, down 1, album of the same name as well, is Stick Season by Noah Kahan. Number 5 is Off My Mind by Joe P, also new to the countdown from his 2021 album Emily Can't Sing, which I still take personally. Number 4, down 2 from last time, is Snap by Rosa Lynn from her album Snap Pack. Number 3, up 7 positions from last time, I'm in Love with You by the 1975 from their album Being Funny in a Foreign Language. Personally, absolutely love that song. Number 2 this week, Runaway to Mars by Talk, up 1 since December 13th, last time I talked about this. And number 1 this week is Tonight by Phoenix, featuring Ezra Koenig from their album Alpha Zulu. And so, like I said, I'll be reporting on the AAA chart week to week, and not this week, but if you're interested in learning about the top 9 in the rock alternative scene, my show 9 of the Times will usually take place at 9 a.m. after the show next week. You could tune in for that.
Thank you so much, Emil.
Of course.
Yeah, it's cool to see the Yeah Yeah Yeahs on this list. I recently learned about them because they were featured in a documentary called Meet Me in the Bathroom that talked about like Strokes, the Interpol, and like a lot of basically the entire New York City rock scene in the early 2000s. And the Yeah Yeah Yeahs were a big part of that. And cool band, very cool vibes.
Yeah, I know their other songs, Spitting Off the Edge of the World, is doing really well on a lot of alternative charts now. And I know them from their song Heads Will Roll. I believe a lot of people probably do. Good stuff.
Yeah,
I fall into that category, Emo. But
as you should.
Yeah, I have a question though. Is number 8 a new song from them, or when did they come out?
So I believe Burn It Down came out the second half of last year, so it is pretty new. Yeah, I know right now on a bunch of other charts, it's doing really well, actually, like the top 4 and like 18,
Okay.
and it's been up there for a long time. So good for them.
Cool.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This comes to the end of the first hour of the morning buzz. We're gonna take a quick break to play some tunes. And then we're gonna be right back with Chaos Hour, and it's gonna get pretty wild, pretty fun. So stick around. And yeah, we'll be right back.
You're listening to WMSC Upper.
Home of Hukan Tran, the gunman behind the shootings, and discovered a .308 caliber rifle, loose ammunition, and other items likely used to build firearm suppressors. No motive has been determined as of now, and there will be more on this story later. In national news, Richard Barnett, the man who's known for posing for a picture with his leg on Nancy Pelosi's desk on the day of the 2021 storm of the Capitol, has been convicted of 8 counts related to this event. He's set to face 47 years in prison following his sentence due on May 3rd of this year. Barnett's lawyer, Joseph McBride, defends him, stating that his client knows he did wrong but does not find legal action necessary for his actions. In local news, starting February 5th, the Holland Tunnel leaving New York City to New Jersey will be closed overnight, Sundays through Fridays. Closures are expected to stay in effect through 2025 to allow for construction and repair of damage caused by Superstorm Sandy. The tunnel will be closed 11 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. on Sundays through Thursdays and midnight through 9 a.m. on Fridays. For MSU students, the add drop period ends today. If you have any last-minute schedule changes, they must be done today. And now for the weather. It is currently 32 degrees and partly cloudy on this chilly Tuesday. Make sure to bundle up today because we have a high of 44 degrees and a low of 30 degrees with 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. Expect intervals of clouds and sunshine throughout the day. Tomorrow, Wednesday, make sure to pack an umbrella and a warm winter jacket as a mixture of winter precipitation is expected with a high of 41 degrees and a low of 40 degrees. Thursday is expected to be partly cloudy and windy with a high of 43 degrees and a low of 28 degrees. And Friday will be a nice break with mostly sunny skies, but it is still going to be very cold with a high of 38 degrees and a low of 30 degrees. For WMSC News, I'm Lizbeth. Back to you, Jake.
Thank you so much, Liz. And here's George with the Sportscast.
All right, thank you, Jake. The road to the big game continues as the Philadelphia Eagles and San Francisco 49ers battle it out for an NFC title, and the Kansas City Chiefs and Cincinnati Bengals battle it out for an AFC title in a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Both games will take place on Sunday. For NBA tonight at 7:30, the New York Knicks take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. The Knicks look to improve to 26-23 on the season. And in NBA news, the Los Angeles Lakers and Washington Wizards finalized a trade that will send Wizards forward Rui Hachimura to the Lakers for shooting guard Kendrick Nunn and 3 second-round picks. Hachimura is averaging 13 points per game and 4.3 rebounds per game off the bench this season for the Wizards. For NHL, the New York Rangers defeated the Florida Panthers 6-2 in Madison Square Garden last night. The Rangers improved to 26-14-7 on the season. And tonight, the New Jersey Devils will host the Las Vegas Golden Knights at the Prudential Center, where the Devils look to improve to 30-12-4. This has been George Calasia with your WMSC Sportscast.
Thank you so much, George. And with the newscast and the sportscast out of the way, we're going to get into one of the Morning Buzz's most famous and, dare I say, infamous segments, Am I in the Wrong? This is where we go on Reddit and get stories. These stories are not our personal experiences. They are shared anonymously on the World Wide Web. And basically, these fine folks, not always fine, are asking, telling us what's their woes, their troubles, and asking, are they in the wrong or are they not? And that's what we're here for. We tell them, we discuss, we judge. Gosh, it doesn't sound that bad, but let's just jump into it. This first one is called, Am I in the Wrong for refusing to tell my husband the gender of our baby after he skipped going to the doctor's appointment with me?
Okay.
I actually want to get predictions. Do we think this is going to be bad?
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
I don't know.
I need to hear the story.
let's
first,
see.
really.
Yeah. Let's
I
hear it.
feel like I don't need to hear the story, and I think that this is going to end badly.
I don't know. I feel like this might end up being based, but I don't
Okay,
know.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. My husband and I aren't expecting. This is our first baby and we're excited. The thing is, he rarely attends any doctor's appointments with me and his excuses aren't even valid. He's willing to miss any of the appointments over a soccer or a drink or a board game with his friends. His response is always, quote, I'm not the one carrying the baby. Why do I have to see the doctor with you?
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Last week was my final straw. He was supposed to come with me for the baby's gender reveal appointment, but he chose not to come last minute because his friend invited him to a fish and chips meal. Are these people British? I need to know.
Automatically in the
Oh my.
I was pretty livid, but didn't make a fuss about it. My mom went with me instead. He texted me asking, asking about the gender, but I refused to tell him. He kept spam calling me, but I hung up each time. Came home fuming, demanding I tell him the results. I refused. Since he didn't attend the appointment, he doesn't get to find out about the gender until after the baby's born. He went off calling me spiteful and immature for doing this and punishing him. He said he's the father and he has the right to know. He then called me dramatic since I wasn't alone and mom was with me. And yeah, their mom was with them. I said he doesn't deserve to find out. End of story. He's been fuming about it and told his family. Now they're pressuring me to tell him, but I declined. Am I in the wrong?
We love a happy we love a happy marriage, don't we?
Right?
It's not even.
Did I not call it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Did I not call that this was going to be based? This
This
person
was-
is not in the
wow.
wrong.
No, they're not.
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
I mean, to skip your baby's gender reveal for a fish and chips
Over fish and chips.
meal,
Come on.
That's insane.
I mean,
of all the things,
Of all the things.
like not even a burger.
like if y'all were going to like, I don't know, I'm not gonna rep anything, but if you get a cheeseburger, maybe that's worth it. But fish and chips, what is that?
That's
Why don't you get that
awful.
afterward? After knowing what it is.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could go get a burger in celebration or fish and
Yeah.
chips if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
If you were really craving fish and chips that bad.
Imagine having a friend that says like, "Hi, bro, want to get fish and chips?"
Yeah. No, I don't got anything going on.
Yeah,
No,
it's like,
no.
well, I'm supposed to go to my baby's gender reveal appointment, but sure, I'm down.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
okay,
It's supposed to be his sporting husband, but yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Anything for you, man.
Yeah.
And if he really wanted to find out, why would he go get the fish and chips?
Yeah, and,
Yeah,
and then
right.
he was like, "Yeah, what's the gender?" I'm
It's
like,
like, why do you care so much?
But he doesn't.
Like,
yeah,
that's
like
the
if he
thing,
really
like,
wanted to know, he could have just gone. Literally.
yeah, it doesn't seem like he cares at all. Like that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I've never had a baby,
yeah.
but like I don't know how concerned about like their
It's-
gender I'd be. But like, I don't know. It's just like supporting this
Yeah.
person that you're supposed to love through this pretty difficult and potentially like dangerous time. I feel like you should probably know some stuff about what's going on
Yeah.
if your partner is pregnant.
Yeah, I'm sorry though. I'm not the one carrying the baby. Why do I have
That
to go
was-
see the
that's
doctor?
rough, right?
That set me off.
That's when I knew Jake was right, that this was bad.
I just knew this was gonna end badly from the very start because I just had a feeling that something like that was going to come up.
why would you say that?
Why would you think that?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's
it
pretty tough.
seems like there's a situation where the husband has to pull his own weight a little bit. Can't be like really. He's the one who's immature here, I think.
Okay, I actually think if the person's listening, I just say get a divorce. That's what
Yeah.
that's my advice.
It's really unfortunate because I'm looking at this like screaming for like, oh, like don't go through with this together. Like you deserve more.
Right? Like that's tough. I don't know.
Because again, this is so much more about the baby's gender at that point. It's just being a supportive partner.
Yeah.
And clearly he is not.
No. No.
And so, you don't deserve to know anything, in my opinion.
He's gonna have to change his attitude, and if he doesn't, then how is he gonna be a good dad
Yeah.
for
That's
your
right.
your child?
Yeah, this little person.
This little
So like, what do we think? What do we think Reddit said about this? Keep in mind, it is Reddit, so like they could say anything. So what do we think? Do we think how do you think the Redditors went on this?
The wife or the husband?
The people who like are reading the story and
Oh.
vote, like,
From the perspective of the wife.
yeah,
knowing Reddit,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna
Not
clear the wife.
Not in the wrong.
She's
Yes,
not in
no,
the
not
wrong.
wrong.
Reddit
all.
agrees.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty easy to see why.
Yeah.
As they should.
And with that, we can move on from this unfortunate.
All right. Well, it's kind of the same nature, Jake. This is the next one coming up.
Okay.
Am I in the wrong for telling my girlfriend she needs to buy her own plane ticket?
Probably. Unless like there's some, I feel like I could imagine that there's some hyper specific reason why
Yeah, I was
maybe
gonna
this is
say,
based.
I need to hear the reasoning.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Um,
we're gonna find out right now. I booked a 2-week vacation to Europe about 7 months ago, including flights and lodging. My new girlfriend of 5 months said she wants to come with me. I told her I would love that, but she'd have to pay for her own flight. I told her I could include her in my hotel accommodations and would pay for food, tours, attractions, etc. She said she cannot afford the flight, which costs about $700 since she booked it last minute. She is booking last minute. She is booking last minute. She asked me if I could buy her a plane ticket. And I told her I did not budget for another plane ticket and that if I thought it was already fair for me to pay for other things on the trip for us. She said she really wanted to spend this vacation with me and said this could be her early anniversary/birthday gift to her. And I would not need to buy her a gift. I told her another plane ticket was not in my budget. She said I can make more money than her and I should be able to afford it. I just don't want to take her. I told her I would love for her to come, but I cannot buy her plane ticket because I did not budget for it and I have other financial obligations. I told her she either needs to pay for her own ticket or I'll see her when I get back home. She told me to forget about it because I'm acting selfish and we are supposed to be in a partnership, and said, quote, hopefully I will still be here when you get back.
Dang. This is actually kind of complicated.
Yeah, I was gonna say
There's layers to this one.
there's
an onion.
There's some like
This relationship ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
there's some like extraneous circumstances that I'm like missing here. Because she's like, oh, you make more money than me, you should be able to afford it.
Right.
And he's saying I have other financial obligations, but nowhere he's not mentioning if she has any financial obligations or how much she makes compared to him or but
What are his own financial obligations?
yeah, he doesn't specify that either. So
also-
I don't know.
I don't know. One thing I'll say is like, I feel like when making plans, it's very good to be like decisive. And like, first of all, I want to know more about like this 2-week vacation that you just booked. Like you just went for yourself. Honestly, that's great. Good for you, King. But like, I don't know. The way that he's just like, you can totally go. You just have to do everything yourself.
Nah, that's not.
You know?
That's
Well,
so.
Say everything.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a bunch of things that he said that he would
Yeah.
cover, but it's just the flight, which is
Yeah.
it's a lot.
If I was him, I would probably adjust my budget to include her. You know.
Well, I don't know. I feel like you could have just said, like, just explained your situation a bit better from the get-go.
Yeah.
I feel like the way he's going, like, I'd love for you to go, but like, I feel like that's the real thing here. It's just like, yeah, like, I'd love for you to go. I want you to come, but like, you just have to do this yourself. Like, I don't know. I feel like if this was approached in a different way, it wouldn't be as much of a problem.
I think we're missing those kind of details.
Yeah,
I
right.
think there's still
Yeah.
the financial situation we're missing. Because I'm looking at this like $700. I can understand why he can't just drop that, especially like, I mean, I know they're dating, but they've only
And-
been together for 5 months.
Yeah.
To drop $700 on someone for an anniversary that's 5 months. I don't really understand that, but at the same time, who knows? Maybe this is someone who drops 700 here and there. But assuming that this guy isn't, that's a lot of money to drop on someone that you've only been with for like so long.
But see, then there's also her reaction and the way she reacted instead of like being understanding or being respectful when asking why or I guess fighting back. She's just manipulating him or trying to at least because she's like, oh, well, you don't want me to come. Hopefully I'll still be here when you get back. And I think she's really trying to guilt trip him into paying for this flight. So then I'm like, oh, now I don't know if I want to defend you because of the way you're reacting. It's kind of petty.
Mhm.
That is kind of tough.
Going off that a little bit, it's like, why did she want to decide to book it last minute if he was already booking it like in advance, a 2-week vacation 7 months ago? Why would she choose to say I want to go last minute?
Yeah,
wouldn't
because
he-
it is so last minute. I'm sure he told her about it.
Well, we don't.
Oh wait,
Has
he
this
booked
girl
it
not
7
seen
months ago.
Midsummer?
Yeah.
It says
Jumping on your boyfriend's trips It doesn't always end well. I'm
But it
just
says he
saying.
booked it 7 months ago,
So-
and she's a
Right.
girlfriend of 5 months. So he booked it before he met her. I'm
Oh,
assuming.
maybe.
he
maybe.
like she could have been a part of it 5 months ago, but then they're you're dating someone for 2 days and you're like, oh yes, I'm gonna go to Europe with you. Like I feel like
That's
that's
true.
that's a lot. Like usually, like I don't even think I told like the majority of people that I had a boyfriend in the first like couple days, because it's like,
Mm.
I don't know, like
It's
like
very
we
new.
hold off a minute. And
yeah.
so like I don't blame her for, or either of them for not trying to coordinate that like the second they got together.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I wonder how long, like maybe did they start talking about this like 2 months in? Then could have like,
You don't know that.
months ago discussed this, and now she's waited until the ticket is as
Mm,
much as it is.
mm.
You know,
No
This
idea.
this one's tough.
This one, yeah,
Yeah.
but
I would
I'm-
just, if I was him,
yeah,
I would say I would try to incorporate her. So I would say yes, he's in the wrong.
I'm with you, Aiden.
Wow.
If I was in a healthy relationship,
Mhm.
I'm not. But I would try to accommodate my girlfriend
Yeah,
as
Yeah.
even if it means splurging every last penny I have.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, it seems like you have a good paying job,
I wanna have a good time, and I want to make sure that she's happy, and if she's
And-
happy, I'm happy.
and you make a lot of money too, based off of this Reddit post.
Exactly.
So yeah, he's in the wrong.
Yeah, he's
Nah,
definitely
I
not.
don't think he's in the wrong. I think
How?
I don't
I don't
think
know.
he is either.
No,
I feel like
I just don't care.
he's not in the wrong,
I just don't care.
but I have like mixed emotions because I feel like he could have helped her figure it out, how
Mhm.
she could go about it, or maybe even pay half of it and have her pay the other half.
That
Maybe.
could work. That could work.
That could work.
But I don't think I don't think he's in the wrong for not wanting to be poor.
I think he's in the wrong. That's just my
Yeah.
vote.
No, me too.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I don't know exactly how he handled the situation and like,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I don't know. I'm leaning towards not in the wrong just because
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what Reddit
I don't
said.
know.
I don't think that he's in the wrong. I think that they could have had conversations about it. I feel like we could be missing that because we just have his perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way that she called him names, like calling him selfish and stuff, I don't know. I feel like if you have a conversation like, hey, I can't financially deal with this, and you could figure something out, and I hope that they problem solve.
Mhm.
I don't know if the trip happened, but
If it did, he went by himself.
based on this right now, I don't think he's in the wrong.
I mean, Europe in general is an expensive trip.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
already. Well, we're gonna move into a quick.
Wait, whoa. What was Reddit's vote?
Oh my gosh, sorry.
Yeah,
I always forget we care what they think. Yeah, no. So Reddit's vote was with emo, not in the wrong.
wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of a Reddit thing to say.
Reddit backing me up. I don't know how
None
much
of
that
these-
says, but
None of these people are in relationships. I'm sorry, that's me. I use Reddit. It's a lovely time. But yeah, no. So we are going to move into a quick break for just a second, and then we are gonna talk about some entertainment moves. Stick around; it'll be fun if you want. And yeah, this is while we're gone, we're gonna play some Pierce the Veil.
yeah.
up for grabs for awards. But
Mhm.
speaking of related to Lady Gaga, we got some news regarding a famed famed
Singer?
yeah, famed artist, famed
Miss
singer.
Doja?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And it seems like she's pulling out of Lady Gaga's book with this story. According to people.com, Doja Cat was the cherry on top of Paris Fashion Week this weekend.
Literally.
The singer stepped out to the Schiaparelli Haute Couture fashion show sparkling in red crystals. Doja was bedazzled with 30,000 hand-placed Swarovski crystals. Doja's Inferno was brought to life by celebrity makeup artist Pat McGarth. The makeup artist and entrepreneur spent 4 hours and 58 minutes hand placing each crystal with her team on Doja's skin. The singer and fashion icon's hair was covered in caps, and then her skin in paint, before crystals and gold dust were applied to her body.
Gold dust.
Wow.
Oh man.
Fancy.
I'm
But-
still a little confused.
It's
So they-
called fashion.
I-
Apparently.
Well, I mean, like, I get all that, but like, I'm just talking logistics here. They sued the crystals onto her skin.
No. Oh no.
That doesn't sound fun.
no.
I guess
No.
beauty is pain, but like, I don't know. That's pretty hardcore.
What's the process for removing all that?
Yeah,
How do you
no,
take it
I
off?
mean, I assume they probably have some like,
Try.
sort of like I remember I used to be really into like movie makeup and stuff,
Mhm.
and I guess they use something called liquid latex a lot, which is just like
Mm.
it just kind of goes over everything, and like you could just and maybe that's probably what this is, and they probably use adhesive, but like I don't know, it's a pretty wild look.
Definitely. And for our listeners who are listening, like not on Facebook or on audio,
Mhm.
we're not kidding when it's not like Doja Cat is wearing like a dress, crystals. There are crystals on her skin, which
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
and it's
Oof,
just all
ouch.
red.
Yeah, she's red. She's red.
So like I have to ask everyone in the room, everyone in the talk studio, is this a serve? Do we think this is a look?
I think it's only a serve because it's Doja Cat.
Yeah.
If it was anyone else, I would say no, this looks ugly, but it's Doja Cat.
Yeah, I remember last semester, Jake, we covered a story. I don't remember who it was exactly, but
The
it was a
worm?
person. Yeah, the worm.
Oh, that was not a look.
Oh, with Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum's worm
Yeah.
was not a look. That was like honestly
What went through her head? Like, I'm gonna be a worm for Halloween.
Only worm.
Worm.
Warm thought.
I think
I'm sorry, I stole the mic from Emo because I really wanted to say this. Heidi Klum dressing up as a worm is the equivalent of girls asking their boyfriends if they would still love them if they were a worm. So I think Heidi Klum is married, so I hope she really asked her husband if he would still love her if she was a worm, because she literally was a worm. Well, are they still together? Then he does.
just ask your significant other, would you still love me if I was red and covered in Swarovski crystals?
I wouldn't love me.
I'd be worth a lot of like, I don't know. I guess your net worth goes up when you're covered in you're just covered in crystals.
Is that how it works?
I don't know. I don't even know what net worth means.
That's okay. It's valid.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. Like, I just like this is an interesting look. Fashion, I like the experiment.
Speechless.
Yeah, right. I don't even know what to say about it.
Flabbergasted.
Like,
Okay. I mean,
It's low key giving me trypophobia, actually.
Right.
yeah, no, yeah.
But at the same time, again, it's Doja Cat. So
Meow.
no, it's Moo.
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 I'm a cow.
If I was an artist, I would not want to do this. I would say no.
But what? Oh yeah, almost 5 hours.
To get that look.
I'm sure standing up too,
yeah,
and
right.
staying
Oh,
also
Ugh.
still because they have to individually place each one, And then I wondered, did they put the crystals on before the dress, or did they have to apply the crystals after? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Oh gosh,
Dedication.
That's
Literally
that's a good-
dedication.
That's a good
Lots of money.
question.
Money
Yeah.
that she has.
there's a lot of
Good for her.
This is what she's doing with her money. She's paying for a makeup artist to stick crystals
And you know
on
what?
her skin.
Probably by next month, guys.
Mhm.
Probably forget all about it. Till the
I
next
don't know. I
artist.
feel like this image is going to be like. I feel like this is gonna be in the books.
No,
You know,
all right,
like-
yeah.
Gonna be like
That-
in the year
Yeah.
when the world was reached 2 degrees Fahrenheit in global temperatures. This is what they were doing.
This is an iconic
Um,
picture, though. I feel this is gonna be an iconic
Yeah,
picture.
right.
Mm,
It's a powerful.
It
it's
is.
a powerful image. Like, I don't know.
sure. I mean, not many people have the opportunity to place crystals.
wanna
on
know.
a
It's gonna
body.
go in the history textbooks for sure.
Right? Would you rock a look like this if like the occasion came up?
I would rock it in green or blue. not
Actually, what do you
red.
think the occasion is for this, other than a fashion show?
I mean,
Um,
I don't know.
standing
I
out,
don't know.
Standing out?
standing
But, like,
out.
Standing out where? Like, would you wear this to school?
Oh,
Could you imagine?
you're saying in
being a
other
crystal?
occasions other than Fashion Week?
Yeah, right.
Uh,
I guess it is like a
if I wanted to dress up as a strawberry for Halloween,
That's
a shiny
true.
strawberry.
yo, like
maybe.
a diamond crusted
Yeah.
strawberry.
That could work. That could work.
That'd be pretty sick.
Or a diamond crusted pepper because she looks like a
Yeah.
Heh.
yeah.
If this is how fashion is in 2023, I'm very excited to see what fashion is like. 20 years from now.
Oh,
I am
I wanna-
excited
wanna-
for
I wanna
cyberpunk
see what,
fashion
like,
to take off.
I want to see the creativity of people 20 years from now.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't have enough lights in our fashion.
I don't think I feel like fashion has reached I work in
Yeah.
retail and I've been working in retail for 3 years.
Wow.
And I feel like fashion has reached a roadblock where we're just kind of rotating between the same stuff. I
Yeah.
don't think we're really going to go any further than we have with fashion,
Mhm.
except for things like this where we're just gonna
Right.
dress up in crystals.
Yeah. No, not much has changed since the 90s in terms of like streetwear.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like fashion coming back from the 60s, the 70s, the
Yeah.
80s,
Mhm.
like fashion styles that they used a lot more back then that are now very popular and trending.
Yeah.
But I think we're just kind of cycling through the same stuff and
Mhm.
we're gonna stop there.
We have an Oscar update. Hi, it's
Oh.
Lara again.
Uh-oh.
So big thank you to Emo who is updating us. And I just wanted to make the announcement that we have nominees for Best Original Song. We have Applause from Tell It Like a Woman, Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick, Lift Me Up from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever,
Ugh.
Nadu Natu from RRR, and finally This Is Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once. So that has been your latest. Oh, we have another one. Thank you, Emo. We also have nominees for Animated Feature Film, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio,
Mm.
Marshall Deshelle with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish,
Great
The
movie.
Sea.
I
I'm
did
so
not
sorry.
see it.
It was so good.
We also have The Sea Beast and also Turning Red. And we have one more. Emo is really working hard on these. Thank you. We have nominees for production design. We have All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Babylon, Elvis, and The Fablemans. Yeah, that's all we got. So you may
Yeah.
continue.
Sick. Thank you
Okay,
so
for-
much, Lara.
For the best song, I'm calling it right now. Hold My Hand's gonna win. It's gonna
You
win.
think?
Yeah,
Which one's
it's
that movie from?
Top Gun.
Lift Me Up.
You think?
so?
I feel like Lift Me Up because it's Lift Me Up.
I feel like
Yeah.
Lift Me Up is gonna win just because it was a tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
Mm.
Oh, okay,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I do
Yeah.
think that's got a little bit of sympathy to it.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, like, I don't know.
But great song though.
My
Yeah,
pre-
yeah.
like my biases are showing here, but I just can't imagine Top Gun winning anything. It's not a franchise that I have a lot of.
Stop because same.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Hot take.
But I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen the movies.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, no. So we will move on from talking about I guess we're already kind of into weird news
Yeah,
because
sure.
weird look. But this is first story of a freaky news story is Edinburgh IKEA shoppers confused after man walks human dogs in front of families. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. They did it again. Why is it that like this is a thing that's happened? Like it's not like I look at this story and I'm like, what? What are they doing?
No.
Again,
It's like,
just
you know.
uh,
Okay. Who let the dogs out? Lara. Why?
Oh no.
Okay. Boof. Edinburgh IKEA customers were left baffled when they visited their local store and spotted a shopper walking two men dressed like dogs through the store cafe. In the bizarre video clip, a man dressed in normal clothing leads two men, both wearing. I feel like I should not be talking about this.
Oh no.
They're wearing dog costumes. One's red with a mask and a tail along a black hoodie with dog paws printed on it, which suggests they could be part of some club.
No.
Laura. The other one who walks in front of him is wearing a black and white mask and tail with mostly regular clothing. They continue to walk through the store casually, and most shoppers don't even seem to notice the odd scene.
They're conditioned like us.
I am, yeah. What do you guys have to say about this? I don't even know. I need a second.
oh,
I mean, I'm speechless.
Right?
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say.
I think I have to.
Yeah.
I'm like Jake. I need to take a minute to process.
Yeah.
this, you know?
I can let you take a minute to process because we have more updates from Emil.
Oh
I'm sorry I keep interrupting, but
no, these. I
is-
love
Yeah, we need it right.
it is award season. So to get you distracted from the dogs, and I'm not talking about feet, we have the official nominees for actor in a leading role. Austin Butler is nominated for Elvis. Colin Farrell. Did I say that correctly?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. I'm a little illiterate today, you guys. I'm a little rusty. From the Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser is nominated for The Whale. Paul Mescal is nominated for After Sun, and Bill Knightley is nominated for Living. We also have the ladies. Yay. If I can open it. There we go. Nominees for actress in a leading role. Kate Blanchett is nominated for Tar. Anna de Aramis is nominated for Blonde. Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, and not our programming director, Leslie Gallagher, the movie To Leslie, LOL. Yeah. We also have Michelle Williams for The Fablemans and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Woo! And according to Email, Best Picture is on right now. Oh my goodness, we have a big old
Oh my
list, you
God.
guys. Still going. It's still moving. Nominees for Best Picture are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water,
Really?
The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. That has been your
Wow.
Oscar update.
It seems like the that was pretty in line with the predictions that we had read earlier. I don't know if Women Are Talking were on there, and I don't know if there was another one that I'm not sure if was on there. But yeah, for the most part, it seems like it seems like predictions were pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Avatar: Way of the Water was on there, and so was Elvis, which is a little surprising to me, honestly.
Elvis is surprising, or Way the Water's surprising?
Both.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just funny to me.
Yeah, no, like I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I did not see those movies, so
We definitely have a decent mix of big motion major pictures and then smaller films.
right.
Which is actually kind of refreshing because sometimes it could usually be one leading towards more than the other, but I'm
Mhm.
seeing a bit of I'm seeing names that I've obviously heard of, but I'm also seeing some that I haven't. So
Yeah, absolutely. It is kind of interesting because I remember there was discourse about this like in past years about them having like a separate category for more like popular entertainment movies and kind of the rest of them. Oh, I guess if they
yeah,
have
they're
that now.
done announcing so those are all the nominees. That was the one we were waiting for, I guess.
Yeah, that is the Best Picture is the big one. So yeah,
And the Oscars will take place on Sunday, March 12th. So it's gonna be here before
right
we know
after
it.
break. That's right when break ends.
Who's hosting it?
I guess you'll have to stay tuned. Oh no, I'm just kidding. It's Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon?
Is it Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy
Yeah.
Kimmel? I get them confused.
one of the Jimmys is one of the
Jimmy.
One of the
hosting.
Jimmys.
One of from the usual rotation.
It is Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes.
Good
Jimmy
choice.
got 3 version 6.
I feel like Jimmy Kimmel hosts every single award show.
Right? Yeah, no, there's
I
not
aspire
much,
to be Jimmy Kimmel one day. That's my dream job, by the way, to be the next Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
That's
Sure.
Yeah, being a talk show host is a very alluring job. Just to be
grow
able
up,
to
you want to be Jimmy Kimmel.
Everybody wants to be.
Morning Buzz lore, George is Jimmy Kimmel.
I
Wow.
am.
Crazy.
You
Imagine
You're hosting the Oscars?
I am hosting the
Your own
Oscars.
sportscaster?
Yeah, I am.
gosh.
Fun
WMSC.
Fun fact. I
It's
am.
all here, folks.
it's all here. It's all here.
Even Jimmy Kimmel?
Yes. Are you not listening? That's all right. For these last 10 minutes of Chaos Hour, we have some really sick news stories. Aiden, want to take it away with the Wahiki sausage mystery?
Sure, Jake. So, according to stuff.co.New Zealand, Wahiki sausage mystery ripping us apart, and we can't trust one another. For the past year, Wahiki Island residents have been finding single sausages wrapped in bread left in their mailboxes. As accusations fly and motives are questioned, victims of the Surfdale sausager say the mystery is tearing the community apart. Virginia Fallon investigates. First sausage arrived in the summer of 2022. Jacob Goetz found it in his mailbox. It was wrapped in white bread and white buttered bread and coated in tomato sauce. It was cold by the time he found it, though it looked to have been once barbecued. He shrugged it off and gave it no further thought until it happened again and again. Same sort of sausage, same sauce, same location. And then things got even weirder.
I'm sorry. What? Imagine opening your mailbox and finding a sausage wrap in it.
Yeah.
And then your mail gets ruined.
Yeah, that's bad. Could you
No.
imagine like you have to hand back your taxes and it's like
Oh.
covered in tomato sauce and like
Sorry.
sausage grease because like
Ugh.
Got sausage. I got buttered sausage on my taxes.
yeah.
Damn.
Whoops.
do it.
Sorry, Biden.
Can't hand in my
Oh, it's in New Zealand. It's in New Zealand.
can't hand in my homework because it's covered in tomato sauce from the sausage in the mailbox.
Ooh.
I feel like there's a very tragic backstory behind this. You know, like maybe like there was a barbecue and somebody wasn't invited.
Maybe
And
it's
So you
uh,
get them back by putting sausages in there.
Yeah.
That'll make
Yeah.
you feel better.
Be like, all right, you don't want to see me? You can mail me a
maybe it's the girl who didn't go to Europe with the guy who did
yo.
take it before.
She mad.
I think that's definitely
That's
true.
funny. I know how to get you back. And put sausages in your mailbox.
Sausage sandwich in your mailbox.
Well, like, why in the mailbox?
'Cause that's the only place you
got
can put
mail.
it without
Guess-
animals
I guess,
eating it.
I guess so.
Yo, facts. Okay. Speaking of animals doing things they shouldn't,
Walk
pet
in-
fish commits a credit card fraud on owner commits a credit card fraud on owner using a Nintendo Switch. In a freak series of seemingly random events, a Switch owner's pet fish accessed his eShop account and added funds to it using his credit card. The crime was caught on video during an unsupervised live stream. Hundreds of viewers watched as the little fish stole their owner's identity while he was gone. The entire heist started as an experiment to see if fish could complete Pokemon Scarlet and Violet unassisted. The YouTuber set up a webcam focused on his fishbowl. Motion tracking software monitored the fish as they swam across an overlaid grid populated with controller inputs. If a fish paused or changed direction, the correlating controller input registered in the game. The game went swimmingly, with the fish winning several battles. I'm so sorry. At the 1100 hour mark, they were doing it for 1,000 hours. The game crashed, as games are known to do, but without the YouTuber present to fix the situation, the system continued registering inputs from the fish. The pesky little critters got the Nintendo eShop to come up twice, and entirely by chance registered the correct sequence of inputs to add $4 to the YouTuber's account from his credit card that was saved on the Switch, and they exposed his credit card information
Oh,
to
no.
everyone
No.
watching.
No.
He got doxxed by a fish.
No.
A fish.
Dang.
Wow.
But also, like, at the same time, though, you literally gave it. This is why cybersecurity is important. You don't give computer access to random animals.
Right.
You know,
But a fish,
gotta
like
think about that.
Well, he didn't think about it clearly.
Hopefully his account was not in shambles after that incident of being exposed.
No, that's pretty bad. Having your credit. I guess it's not. There are worse things. Like you could just cancel it.
I mean,
You could just cancel.
I mean,
Maybe.
which is not a fun like.
No,
process
it's
to
not
go
fun.
through,
I mean,
right?
it's only $4, but imagine it was 40 or 400.
Yeah, right. Easily could have been. Like, can we talk about how crazy it is that he put in the right inputs? Like,
Yeah.
What are the chances of
I
that?
don't get
I
that.
don't know.
The fish knows what it's doing. The fish is very much sentient. It knows.
My mom said that the story sounds fishy. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah. Do you
Oh, yeah,
think your
that's the
animal
one
would
thing.
commit fraud?
I don't have an animal, so
Well, if
no
it's
fraud for me.
if the fraud
Cybersecurity right there.
if the fraud will result in nice meal, then yes.
I think my dog would absolutely commit tax fraud. Like, I don't know.
I
He
had a
has
go-
that energy.
I had a goldfish. I wanted to see if she was able to do this. You know, with
You'd
the
like to see
Yeah.
with the
create an
Nintendo.
experiment.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a video I saw of these owners that left their dog in the bathroom and then pretended to leave the house. And then they came back into the house quietly to see what the dog was doing. And the dog opened the bathroom door, looked at them, and then closed the bathroom door again. And I was like, no, this dog is not a dog. This dog is a human. There is no way.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah.
Animals are smart.
They
Yeah.
are.
Right.
Very.
Humans are not.
That's right, dude. Yours is right.
But we try to get a little smarter here on
We
the Morning
do.
Buzz. Thank you so much for joining us for our very first Tuesday show. I've been your host, Jake Goetz, along with
Aidan Ivers.
Lizbeth Godoy.
George Calicia.
I'm Emo.
Yes. All right. That brings us to the end of our show. Thank you so much for listening and have a good day.
You're tuned into